Hi, this is Eva Dimel from Eva's Inspirations, and I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about the journey that God has got me on now. It's a new journey that I thought that I would never ever do, and it's something that I said I would never do. My oldest sister always asked me to write a book about my life, about our lives, and I told her that I couldn't. And besides that, I didn't want to go through that pain again. I didn't want to go through all those memories, and I didn't want to take that journey. And a very dear, good friend of mine, Dr. Arvil Jones, he has written some books, and he's also a published writer as well as a pastor. He's been a pastor for 40 years. We were able to meet, and he ended up coming down to my church and bringing some of his books for a craft show. And he said, "You know what, Eva, we should do a book together." And I said, "Well, I don't write novel stuff. My type of writing is poetry." And he said, "Well," he goes, "I think we could do it." He goes, "If you think of something or whatever, let me know." And so he asked me again, and I told him, I said, let me pray about it. So I prayed about it, and we was talking one day, and he said, "Have you thought about us doing a book together?" And before I thought, I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "What would you like one to do one about on?" And I said, "My life story." And then I thought, "Oh no, wait, let me pray about that. I really need to pray about that." And so I prayed, and I cried, and I thought, "God, I don't know what you want me to do." And I was ashamed. I always grew up feeling like a piece of trash. And I didn't want people to see that. I didn't want people to know some of those things about me. I was worried about what they would think about me. And I got up the next morning, and I was reading my daily devotion, and it was a new devotion my daughter had bought me. And it said, "I know that you have what it takes to accomplish God's purpose for your life. I know the people whose path you cross are going to be blessed because of you." And then it said, "I know that your life is a story being written by an author who has more in store for you than either of us could even imagine." And I started crying because God had answered me in black and white. So I started writing, and I started sending things to Arvil, and we started working on the book. And it was a journey together. It was hard for me. I started having the post-traumatic stress again. But we continued to write, and I continued to go through all kinds of different feelings. But when the book was done, the purpose of the book and our purpose of the book was for it to glorify God and to help someone who had went through maybe something that I had been through in my life. And that's what I mainly wanted to do. So when the book got done, I already knew the title, and the title of it is From Trash to Treasures. And I wasn't sure what people was going to think, and to be honest, I'm still a little bit nervous about it. But so far, the people that have bought the book simply love it. They have cried through the book. Some of them have been in the same situation. A lot of them can relate, and they see how wonderful and amazing God is. And so for that reason, I am so grateful that we did write the book. Not that it still doesn't bother me some. In the book, and I'm going to show it to you, From Trash to Treasures, it has three pictures of three little girls on it because I have two sisters, one older and one younger, and you will read about them in the book also. Um, the book, in the book, our names have been changed, and the names have been changed, and so we published it as a fiction. We did that because that way we wouldn't have to get permission from people or be sued by somebody for something that was said in the book. The book is now going out everywhere. There's some in Australia. They're just everywhere. I hear from people all over the place. And the ones that have read it, most of them, they said that once they started reading it, they couldn't put it down. I'd like to share just a couple things in the book, and I would definitely like to share Arvil's introduction. And so I'm going to read it to you. Virtually every book, irrespective of its genre, somewhere near the beginning, makes certain claims about its content. The reader, of course, has a right to expect the book to live up to its claims. But let it also be said that not every reader will come away with the same opinion after reading the same book. And with only these 3 sentences, whoever is reading this introduction has already begun to formulate in his or her mind, perhaps not an opinion, but a certain anticipation as to what this book, this novel, is all about. Then let us save some time and effort by jumping in the pond with both feet. But first, it will be advantageous to tell the reader the negative aspect of this book, what it is not about. It is not about the triumph of the human spirit over adversity. It includes that, of course, but it goes far beyond it. It is not about the resiliency and adaptability of humans to their present environment and all the different aspects of that environment, although it includes these also, but transcends all of them. Positively, this book is about the love and grace of the one and only true and living God, who alone is able to take hold of the human reins of human lives that are being driven toward hell at breakneck speed, and turn those lives into something more beautiful than human language is capable of describing. This book will take you to the utmost depths of human shame and depravity, and depending upon your own personal relationship to God, it will raise you to the utmost heights of joy. These are pretty big claims for a book, are they not? Now let us see if these claims can be substantiated. Dr. Arvil Jones. This book has touched all different aspects of life, things that can happen, things that I grew up ashamed of, things that I would never want to ever happen, even to my own worst enemy. But because of God, He has brought me so far, and I can say I am so blessed. I have had people tell me that this book has been traumatizing. It is horrific, the childhood that I lived. But you know, God was always there watching over me, even as that child that me and my sisters all went through. I am so grateful and so thankful to God for this book and for what it is doing. It is touching a lot of lives. And I'd like to read one more thing that is just like a testimony to the book. And this is from one of my friends, as well as the editor. Eva Dimel's poetry, Eva's Inspirations, has been a regular feature in our Christian newspaper. The good news just keeps coming since October 2012 and is a favorite of our readers everywhere. God has given Eva a special gift of praise to Him and a true insight of His love for us through her poetry. It is only through God's love that she has been able to heal from her dysfunctional family and childhood abuse. Her forgiveness and love for others is nothing short of a miracle from God, and I am so blessed to have met her and call her my friend and sister in Christ. Diana Boring, editor of The Good News Just Keeps Coming. And there's more testimonies in here like this from people that I know and I love. The book, you can get it through me, or you could get it also through Dr. Arvil Jones. You can get it through me, through my email address, which is edimel9775 at sbcglobal.net. And you can do that and contact me there, and I will get right back with you. I am also on Facebook. You could contact me on Facebook. Dr. Arvil Jones is on Facebook. You can contact him on Facebook, and both of us will more than happily be glad to respond to you. I don't usually like to push a lot of things that I do. Like I said, I mainly write poetry. And yes, this book does have a poem in the back of it, and the title of it is From Trash to Treasures. This book is inspired by God, and it's a journey that I took, and my hope and prayer is that it will be a blessing to someone out there, that it will touch their lives the way it is touching other people's lives that has read it already. And I thank you for taking the time to listen to this. God bless you all. Again, if you would like one of the books, I'm on Facebook, Eva Dimel. It's spelled like Eva, Eva, Dimel. Dr. Arvil Jones also, and also through my email, edimel9775 at sbcglobal.net. I hope you all have a blessed day. Thank you.